Welcome back, everybody. Sorry, I'm full of excitement here. We are right here back at Battle of Bunker Hill 2019 at the Horgan Arena in Auburn, Massachusetts. I am the CAC.
I am Q.
And we are here for an exciting game. We are very, extremely pumped for the Muddy River Rollers Lumber Smacks against Twin State Derby's Upper Valley Vixens.
This is a game that I think everybody has been looking forward to this entire weekend. Both of these teams, Muddy River coming in technically unranked, Twin State Derby coming in as the underdog overall, both of them with wins under their belts. So this is definitely one of those games that everybody has been excited to see.
Absolutely. Twin State coming in on fire, even putting down like Providence and Maine this week. Big upsets. But we're going to see a lot of great action coming up. But right now, let me introduce you to the Muddy River Lumber Smacks. Number 100, Hail Destroyer. 111, Knocker Walker. 13, Edith Path. 22, Pirate Attack. Number 3, Reading Painbow. 316, Rosie the Riveter. 45, Burn. 50, Snipress. 55, I'd Hit That. Number 7, Shamrocker, who is the captain. Number 8, Tootsie Valentino. Number 807, Raz. Number 85, Mockensons. And number 99, Side Effects.
And Twin State Derby Upper Valley Vixens, number 1000, Felina Troy. 13, Pumpkin Carver. Number 1984, Mariski Business. Number 206, the captain, Elizabeth Taylor. Number 2400, Midnight Crasher. 32, Yeti Vandetti. Number 4, Ivory Tower. Number 484, McChaos. 50, Biohazard Jess. Number 533, Hershey Bad. 513, Jules. 588, Pale Raptor. 717, Bertha Blue Blazes. 819, Force of Havoc. And 934, Lady Dementor.
And there's something special you want to say.
There is. I would like to thank Timeout Grill in Claremont, New Hampshire for actually hosting a TSD watch party. We know you can't be in chat, but that is okay because as long as you are watching and supporting us, thank you for everything you do. Everybody else in the stream, thank you for joining us as well. This is definitely one that you did not want to miss. So congratulations for being here on time and in your seats.
Yep, you can ask any questions, do any shout outs, and even be an off-site producer. Share some awesome intel and information with us that we can add to this wonderful broadcast here. And thank you again to Nerd Derby for this production here on Twitch TV. Don't forget to subscribe to them today. Ooh,
and again, we are going to be here. The Vixens will be skating in white. The Lumber Smacks in black. We are starting off 717. Bertha Blue Blazes up on the line for the Vixens. Facing off against number 50, that is Snipress.
Done a lot of damage out there. Vixens watch party. Woohoo! You can feel the intensity actually in here, like right on that track.
There is. Everybody in the stands is like on the edge of their seats. This has been one that everybody has been talking about so far.
Let's see who is going to strike blood and the water first already. Looks like Twin State's losing a blocker to the box. And that is going to be Snipress of Muddy River taking the first lead.
Bertha Blue Blazes, however, is also through the pack about half a lap behind. Snipress is re-engaged back at the top of the apex. Calls it off, spinning out of bounds. Looks like Snipress able to draw blood first, putting up 4 points for Muddy River.
Pack already setting itself up for jam number 2. And that is going to be number 8 over there, Tootsie Valentino against 50 Biohazard Jess.
Tootsie was a pivotal jammer in their last game, stacking up a ton of points and lead jammer status well over 80%. We'll see if that can continue here, and it does as an outside lane formed. Muddy River picking up 2 lead jam statuses back to back. Quick star pass also to, looks like Hershey Bad. Is number 533. Jam is called off. 2 points being put up on the board. That is going to bring Muddy River's total up to 6 points. Twin State Derby is still currently held at 0. Jules now coming up to the line for the Twin State Derby Vixens. That is number 513. Facing off Rosie the Riv Hitter, number 316 for the Lumber Smacks.
Rosie having a great show, and it was even funny, we were talking about yesterday as they were playing Providence. They are the Rhode Island Riveters, so Rosie Riveter was taking on the entire Riveter team. and fared off very, very well out there.
Yes.
Pack compressed together. We have a full house on the flat track 5-on-5. And we got a multiplayer block call. Just going to wait to see who that's going to go on. But meanwhile, Rosie Riveter is going to take the lead. And that actually is going to go on Muddy River with that multiplayer block.
Jules with a quick star stash at turn number 1 to break through the pack as well. Rosie has re-engaged the pack at turn number 1, however, is getting a lot of pushback. Has to call that off. We'll see if any points go up on the board. No, it looks like the Vixen still held at 0. 3 more points being put up on the board for Muddy River. That is going to bring their total up to 9 with about 27.5 minutes remaining in the half.
And that was very close because Jules came in hot into the inside of turn number 1, swooped in, but just not in time.
Coming up the line now, number 50, Sniperus, facing off against number 588, Pale Raptor. Pale Raptor recently changing her number to 588 in memory of the Night Witches. That was a Soviet aviation unit.
Yeah,
Nicknamed by the Nazis, dropped over 23,000 tons of ammunition and munitions on the Nazis during World War II.
And now looking at everybody dropping points on top of Muddy River. Coming in hot, going down on her knees, popping back up on the inside, not going to be contested by anyone. It looked like Hail Destroyer was going to come in, but letting her go. Finally putting 4 points up for Twin State. Snipers with a stash finally through the pack.
Pale Raptor with a quick little juke, tries to get a couple more points in there before calling it off, does so. 2 more points are being put up on that scoring trip. That is going to bring Twin State Derby up to 6. Muddy River held at 0 on that jam. Their total still at 9. 26 minutes remaining.
And now coming up on the line there, as we saw earlier, number 717, Bertha Blue Blazes, going to go skate to skate against Tootsie Valentino.
Blazes deciding to take the front of the pack. Tootsie working the pack of the pack. However, neither pack moving at all. Tootsie able to see an outside lane open up, jumps straight over to it to pick up lead jammer for the Lumber Smacks.
Tootsie coming in on the outside, having to put a stop on that as it looked like Blazes was coming in hot. 1 point pickup, did get 1 point. Now, out at the watch party, there's probably a number of people there that maybe this is the first time seeing Derby. Would you say that?
I'm hoping there's at least 1 or 2. I know there are multiple members of the league that decided that they were going to go watch there.
Well, you can definitely educate all the new people while you're there, like some of the rules and regulations and even how they score points in a game like this, because Derby is one of the fastest growing sports worldwide.
And to have a watch party at a public event, I think, is a phenomenal idea anyways, because it will introduce those newer fans, even if there are just random customers there that might be able to watch and start really getting into what roller derby is all about.
It catches on quick. Muddy River losing it looks like, Twin State losing a blocker to the box.
And that was Elizabeth Taylor.
Now the compression is in. Biohazard Jess is your lead. All right, wrapped around once and a recycle back on Jess by number 13, Edith Paff.
Rosie now out on the initial pass. Biohazard Jess able to break through on a scoring trip. Deciding to call that off before the Lumber Smacks can put up any points. And we are now in a tie game, 10-10 with 24 minutes remaining in the half.
This is going to be that game that is, as we predict it's going to be. So I've brought along several hand towels that we're going to be sweating through.
Yes.
And this has been a cool arena. Like, I have not sweat at all this entire weekend. It's literally an air-conditioned arena. It's been wonderful. But now the sweat's going to break out because both these teams up here, Snipers now jamming for Muddy River up there against 513 Jules of Twin State.
Jules deciding to take the back of the pack as the Lumber Smacks forced to bridge. However, it is Sniperus out first, picking up lead jammer status for the Lumber Smacks.
Jules being recycled back by Byrne as Twin State's going to lose another blocker to the box. Back advantage going in favor of Muddy River. That's 2 in the box currently for Twin State. 4 points picked up by Snipers. And we're getting a power jam, it looks like. Don't see the official call on that one, but Jules is going to sit in the box. And already an 8-point jam now for Muddy River.
Snipers again has been causing damage all weekend to that scoreboard. Wants to continue her streak of racking up the points. Able to break through on an additional scoring trip. 4 more points being put up on the board for Muddy River.
Pack now engaging as Snipers trying to come right into the center of that tripod setup. It looks like number 7, Shamrocker, trying to break it up a little bit. And very successful. Sniper picking up another 4 and quickly shutting that off as Jules is coming to approach the pack. And that is going to be a 16-point jam for Muddy River, bringing it to 26.
So far the largest jam of the game. Got about 22 minutes remaining, 26-10 in favor of Muddy River.
And definitely anything can happen because that's all this weekend has been, is a lot of surprises and upsets, which makes it even more entertaining even as announcers, because you don't know what's going to be coming up. It's not predictable at all.
Absolutely. 588 Pale Raptor up on the line for Twin State Derby, facing off against number 8 Tootsie Valentine. Ooh. Pale Raptor is through the pack first, picks up lead jammer status for the Vixens. Elizabeth Taylor there with a nice recycle on Tootsie, back behind turn number 1 as Pale Raptor able to break through on that scoring trip, putting up 4 more points for the Vixens.
Hell Destroyer going to the box, and it looks like, I believe that's Burn standing up in the box right now. Yep, Burn finally getting released. Now they have a pivot out there for Muddy River. Oh, it takes a twist and a twirl out of turn 2. That's Pale Raptor now getting recycled back there behind Knocker Walker.
Yep. Takes a lot to knock Pale Raptor down, but that was definitely a big hit by Knocker Walker there in order to do so.
But now coming up, 8-point jam is going to bring in now an 8-point separation between these teams. Now we got Blazes out there against Rosie. I'm shaking in my chair here, Q.
I'm looking at this pack setup here, wondering which strategy is going to work.
Blazes trying to find that opening around Burn. Burn now pulling back a little bit behind turn 4. Destroyer Command right behind her.
Rosie continuing to work the front of the pack. That tripod braced by Midnight Crasher in front. Blazes once again getting recycled back by Burn.
And we're getting a direction of gameplay. I believe that is going to go on Ivory Tower.
Blazes continuing to push the back of the pack, trying to find a hole or rotate that tripod in order to get some breathing room there.
Look at Felon of Troy up in the front with Midnight Crasher. Finally, Rosie let go. But look, Blazes catching up right on Rosie's tail. Pack now speedily moving up through turn 4, now going past the jammer line, just stopping just short of the pivot line. Rosie coming around into the center, right engages with the tripod. We're going to see, and it looks like it looks about, we're saying 2 points.
2 points.
Oh my goodness.
Able to hold Vixens to 0 on that. Vixens are actually very smart on that strategy, kind of burning a little bit of time by speeding up there, trying to give Blazes an additional few seconds to catch up. Didn't quite work out, but the strategy was there. Biohazard just now up on the line, way back from the jammer line, going to get some momentum going. Facing off against the other 50, that is Sniperus.
I know, I gotta tell you right now, Q, both these teams have a 50-50 chance at getting the lead here. I could hear groans back at the watch party, and I am glad. But number 934, that lead Dementor going to the box.
You were right, though. It was number 50 that was out first. That was number 50, Sniperus, taking lead jam status for the Lumber Smacks. However, number 50, Biohazardess, is not far behind, maybe a quarter track. Sniperus deciding to call that off. 3 points being put up. I will say this, the Vixens are doing a very good job of making sure that their jammer is getting out at the same time as well. So even though Muddy River is getting out early and scoring those points, they are limiting Vixens are limiting Muddy River to 1, 2, or 3 points only per jam. And that is going to be a trick here, I think, for both teams. Making sure those multi-scoring passes are not occurring.
Absolutely. One of the safest places bets you can always do is grabbing the 4 and slamming the door. And right now, Jules is getting pushed around there again by Byrne. Recycle back to turn number 4. Up in the front, that is going to be Tootsie Valentino taking lead. Pack still hasn't gotten fully past the pivot line here, Q. And already you see Tootsie Valentino coming in. Jules finally gets out of the box, but a nice block there. Number 4, Ivory Tower, forcing a hard recycle back. And Valentino's just going to shut that one down.
We'll see how many points Muddy River gets put up there. Vixens are holding a 0 up in the air. Looks like a 0-0 jam on that one.
Scoreless.
That huge hit by Ivory Tower there, ensuring that no points are put up on the board. Pale Raptor coming up to the line one more time for the Vixens, facing off Rosie the Riv Hitter. Pale Raptor pushing the back of the pack just a little bit, trying to bounce to the outside. Door is shut. Rosie working the middle of the pack now.
Muddy River using the battering ram technique, grabbing one of their blocks and throwing them into Pale Raptor. But no can do. Pale Raptor able to stay up on her feet. Going to pick up lead coming around. Turn number 4 into straightaway to turn number 1. Pack now pulling back. Not too far behind is Rosie River. And we're getting a back block call on Pale Raptor. Going to the box for 30. We're going to have a power jam for Muddy River. And we're going to go the full 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Woohoo!
Rosie the Riv Hitter now is through the pack on that scoring trip. 4 points being put up in the sky. And again, nobody can call this off. Rosie has re-engaged the pack at turn number 3, facing a solid pack now as both teams are just in a scrum.
Pirate attack coming in, breaking up that tripod of Twin State. And now released from the box. You're looking at Pale Raptor. Raptor easily glides around the pack and gonna put up those 4 points she was owed. Rosie now engaged into the pack as well.
Mariski Business and Pumpkin Carver holding her at the back of the pack, giving a little bit of time now. Yep, a direction of play called on Pumpkin Carver. Will send her to the penalty box. Pale Raptor, however, is through on the second scoring pass. We are now at an 8-8 jam. Rosie the Riv Hitter is still held at the back of the pack. That is Mariski Business and Hershey Bad, being the bane of Rosie's existence currently. Wait for a couple additional points being assessed. Looks like 3 more being put up for the Lumber Smacks.
But
4 more.
Yes, 4 for Twin State.
So coming out of that jam, Twin State 12-11 in favor of Twin State on that jam. Muddy River 42, Twin State Derby 30 points, less than 15 minutes remaining in the half. Blazes coming back up at the line for the Vixens, facing off against number 50, Sniperus. Sniperus taking a quick jump to the front of the pack, is met by a tripod braced by Midnight Crasher, however, able to break through, picks up lead jammer status.
Pumpkin Carver released from the box, but Twin State lost another blocker. And also Muddy River, it looks like that was number 85. Mockinson's going to the box as well. Each team down a single blocker. And a push off. Finally,
looks like a back block being issued to Sniperus. Sniperus is headed to the penalty box. That is going to give Twin State Derby a power jam opportunity. Bertha Blue Blazes through the pack. This is the scoring pass. 4 points up in the sky. Blazes does not have lead jammer, so this will be another 2-minute jam.
And just a mere 8 points away. Now starting to stand in the box is Sniperus. great, actually, 4-wall set up, that being anchored by number 7, Sham Rocker, who is captain for the Muddy River.
Felon of Troy offering a little bit of offensive assistance there. However, Bertha Blue Blazes, again, still back in that pack, just locked up. Forearm now being issued to number 99 on the Lumber Smacks. That is Side Effects.
Snipers in, picking up the 4. Mockinsin's locked up with Blazes, has to let her go. That's going to be a 4 right back. They're going to go shot for shot on this one. 46-38, 25 seconds remaining in this jam. Snipers coming to the very front, meets up with Felon of Troy, putting the hurt on, almost getting Snipers out.
Snipers able just to keep the balance, stays inside. 4 more points being assessed to each team. Currently, Twin State Derby is 1 scoring pass ahead on this jam. Snipers, however, making quick work of the pack on the inside. 4 more points. That final points assessed. Bertha Blue Blaze is able to break through at that last second. 4 more points being assessed there. 16-12 jam in favor of Twin State Derby. That is going to bring the total Muddy River 54, Twin State Derby 46. 12 minutes left in this half.
Very successful, actually, when you think about it, with those both teams. It was Twin State that came out victory in both of those. Again, both teams scoring points because we had to go to 2 minutes, but always coming out with more points than Muddy River. But out with a fury, Biohazard just going to take that lead. Tootsie Valentino stuck in the middle of the pack. Muddy River trying to break up and separate Twin States back, but a recycle back behind number 533 Hershey Bad.
Number 206, Elizabeth Taylor, being called for a penalty, so there will be a pack advantage in favor of the Lumber Smacks. Biohazard just has finished a scoring trip and has now re-engaged the pack at turn number 2. Decides to call that off before Tootsie can re-engage the pack as well. Looks like 1 additional point going to be put up on the board, so a total of 5 points on that jam. For Twin State Derby, we are whittling down that lead. It is now a 3-point game. Muddy River in favor at 54, Twin State Derby 51 with about 11 minutes remaining.
Snipers back up on the line, this time against Jules. Jules has yet to pick up a lead jam, but might get it here. We have a multiplayer block call, and that is going to go on number 7, Shamrocker of Muddy River, and a direction of gameplay. So 2 of Muddy Rivers now go into the box. Meanwhile, we got standing in the box a blocker for Twin State. And we're going to get a lead call going to Snipers. Jules finally out, but we got a thinned out pack here, Q.
Very thinned out, but it's starting to speed up a little bit. Snipers having to really speed up and start spinning before calling that off. Able to get 2 points on that. Called it off just before Jules was able to get any points. So extending the lead again just a little bit. 56 points to 51 in favor of Muddy River. Pale Raptor coming back up to the line now for the Vixens. Going to be facing off against number 8. That is Tootsie Valentine.
And we might have an official timeout here as we heard the whistle blow real quick. Yep, there's going to be just an official timeout here as our NSOs are discussing with their official, trying to get all that information correct. Thank you again. You're joining us here. Battle of Bunker Hill 2019. What a weekend's been here at the Horgan Arena in Auburn, Massachusetts. Presented to you live here by Nerd Derby here on Twitch TV. Wherever you are, make some crazy noise. Join us on the chat feed. And speaking of those officials here, Q, who do we have in the black and white stripes?
Matante, Bradysaurus Rex, Sixtat, Just Sean, Sprocket, D Baggins, Kinky Linky, Killenny, Axis of Stevel, This'll Be Painful, Wifo, Dizzy DeCapo, Babblefishy, Peterson, and the Crypt Keeper, as well as Muffin. The alt ref right now is Shipwrecker as well, who I do not see on our roster. New England Roller Derby Report would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. However, it looks like the timeout is about ended, so we will get to that advertisement right after this jam.
Yeah, some awesome info on that, so stick around for that. But actually, a little switch up there. They put Force of Havoc in place of Pale Raptor.
Havoc has been a secret weapon this tournament, as has been put by a couple different announcers. One of the newer skaters on the Vixens picks up lead jammer status already through on the first scoring trip. 4 points being put up on the board. Tootsie Valentine now out as well. That was the initial pass. Force of Havoc through again. 4 more points being up. Tootsie also through for 4. Force of Havoc now re-engages the pack. Big hit by number 111. That is Knocker Walker on Force of Havoc, forcing that call off. So a 4-8 jam in favor of Twin State Derby. We are down to a 1-point game. Muddy River 60, Twin State Derby 59, with about 8.5 minutes remaining in this half. Again, this was one of those games people were looking forward to, and it is not disappointing.
Not at all. And I was talking with my baby daddy and John Snowflake about Force of Havoc. Was it first year or second year?
I believe first year on the Vixens, however,
Vixens,
was on B team last year.
Yeah, and already a force to be reckoned with, Force of Havoc. Speaking about force to be reckoned with, you got Pale Raptor out there taking lead over Rosie Riveter, and we got a cut track in the air. Forearm call on Rosie Riveter. Power jam going to Twin State. Oh no, and we're getting was a back block call on Raptor. We're going to have a do-si-do. We are going to go 2 minutes, but Rosie's going to get released first.
So far this has been 3 2-minute jams in one half. Yep. I think this is the most I've seen so far this tournament, actually.
Yes. And Rosie ended up getting knocked to the outside, cycles back. In the meantime, Pale Raptor gets through the pack, is going to be the first to pick up 4 points.
Pale Raptor just with a lot of spinning action on that outside line, avoiding hits like the plague.
Getting a forearm call on blocker 4, Muddy River. And, I believe a track cut on Pale Raptor. We got 3 jammer penalties in this jam.
Rosie still at the back of the pack on the back straightaway. After getting a little bit of offensive help now, as Pale Raptor is in that penalty box, so Muddy River can't afford it. However, a solid tripod braced by Pumpkin Carver, now a 2-blocker combination.
Getting a low block on Rosie the Riveter. That is 4 jammer penalties in a jam. This is not boding well for either team on this one. As we're going to actually wrap up, we got about 11 seconds left. So this means Twin State's going to be starting with a power start coming up.
Assuming that there was enough time between Pale Raptor's penalty and Rosie's penalty.
And it is.
Yep.
Oh,
so Rosie is going to start in that penalty box. Twin State will start with a power jam opportunity.
Yeah.
4 points going put up on the board. Total jam on that is going to be 8. Official review being called by Muddy River. Assuming there is no change. Currently, we had another lead change with those 8 points being put up on the board. Muddy River 60, Twin State Derby 67, with 6 minutes and 17 seconds left in this half.
Yeah, I think we're all going to need some heart medication into this. But before we get to that, I want to talk to you about Sociopath, who's actually a sponsor for our Nerd Derby production. In particular,
13 team colors and custom prints being offered. Lift shorts, skate shorts, and capris, custom helmet covers and armbands.
Yep, and they have team discounts available, and they have very size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Definitely highly recommend, especially when you get those team discounts. They are great for scrimmages and competitions. You can find them out on sociopath.ca. That's SEWCIOPATH.ca.
You're so much better at spelling that than I am. I get tongue twisted at the path.
Well, see, I'm better at spelling than math. Why? Because math, never once.
So we will get some information on this official review here in a minute. The referees are discussing what occurred. And again, it looks like the chat is blowing up a little bit. Thank you all for joining us on Nerd Derby's Twitch channel. If you have not helped out yet, you can do so. If you have an Amazon Prime account, go ahead, hit those links, support your local Derby streaming, because without people like Nerd Derby and Chad and Beth to help us out to broadcast these, we just won't be able to stream them. You won't be able to enjoy them from the comfort of your home or Time Out Grill in Claremont. Thank you again. Watch parties are a thing, and without being able to have this streaming capability, we won't continue it. We all know if you're watching roller derby, the roller derby is made up of volunteers throughout the world. Nobody gets paid for these, so gear is expensive, people. If we want to continue watching these streamed broadcasts, we need to be able to support those who can do it.
Wait, you're not getting paid? Didn't you sign
Are you getting paid?
Didn't you sign the contract? What? No.
There was a contract?
Wait.
You're getting paid?
No, there's no contract. What are you talking? Contract? Why are you bringing that up?
I'm
There's
getting
no
paid?
contract. Paid? No, I'm not getting paid.
What did I sign? And Chip Ricker is coming over now. She is the alt ref again to let us know what the official review is about. So I'll get that information to you in just a second.
Yes, and Sparrow Doom, this game is very delicious. Oh, it's been amazing. This is everything that we had hoped for so far. And this is only just in the first half with 6 minutes, 17 seconds remaining. We're going to see, once we get all that information over here, when Shipwrecker comes over and has a little conversation with Q. But also don't forget to please subscribe to Nerd Derby, NERD-ERBY, which Twitch TV bringing to you a lot of great tournament action this year alone. We've seen Battle of the All-Stars with them, including Siege Central New York and Boston, the Lobster Roll of Boston. We had the lovely, lovely lasses from Dublin come on in. It was actually the first time they ever saw snow in real life, because they only get rain over there in the winter. But Q, what's some of the cool information you got?
Okay, so what was going on, Muddy River was actually looking to get an upgrade to the backblock penalty that was issued to Pale Raptor from just a backblock to an egregious backblock. The referees confirmed, did decide that there was a little bit of extra force there, however, not enough to be considered egregious.
How's that sound for you? All right.
Not enough to be considered egregious, so they are issuing a warning, actually, to Twin State Derby and Pale Raptor on that back block. And we are continuing on. Looks like we're going to... It's still blinking, so I'm not sure if they retained or not. That information was not passed to me. Once it is finalized, I will let you know.
Nope, they're going to lose that one.
So up on the line, skating right now, Rosie the Riv Hitter is up on the line for Muddy River, facing off against Bertha Blue Blazes. Bertha Blue Blazes now taking the front, one blocker to beat, able to pick up lead jammer status.
Yep, utilizing that power start there, capturing that lead, definitely in favor of Twin State. And they are down, actually it's Muddy River who's down a blocker currently. That is 22 Pirate Attack currently in the box. And through the inside line, Q coming around turn number 3. 4 points put up by Blazes.
And Rosie the Riv Hitter is out now, has engaged the pack. Sniperess is the pivot, and a star pass to Sniperess number 50.
But we're getting out, it was out of play called by the officials, so you're going to have to recycle back in.
Will be going back. Meanwhile, Blazes has punched through on another scoring pass. Looks like deciding to call it off now. We'll wait for these points to be assessed, put up on the board.
And we had a question between even the officials on that, just some clarity on that star pass there. But yeah, it looks like with the points put up, we are now up to
75-60. Another 4 points just got found in somebody's pocket, bringing Twin State's total up to 79. So whopping 12 points on that jam. Has his back on the line for Twin State Derby, facing
Rosie's in the box there. It might have been something illegal regarding that star pass, an illegal procedure possibly. We'll try to see if we get some more information on that.
And that is 2 power starts in a row for the Vixens, taking full advantage of it, as Haz is already through the pack, lead jammer status, and re-engaged at the top of the apex.
Just picking up another 4. Rosie now back into the pack. Finds an opening on the inside. Going to be putting that star on and working the initial pass. Pack moving into turn 2, down to straightaway. Just coming in through the center. And locks eyes with Moccasins at the front and gonna quickly put a stop to that. Add another 3 to that 7-point jam. Bringing it up 86-60.
With just under 4 minutes remaining in this half, Jules coming up to the line for the Vixens. Number 50, Snipers for the Lumber Smacks. This game certainly has not been disappointing whatsoever. It is everything the hype has been getting me ready for.
Now, Twin State's just got to be very careful on penalties, especially jammer penalties. They already picked up 2 as well. And as you see, anyone can capitalize on those. So
yes,
it's all about, a lot of it really even comes down to watching where your feet land, track awareness, because cuts are the biggest issue when it comes to any of the jammers here. But doing so far is Jules pushing and hard up to the front. We'll take that lead for Twin State.
Snipers continue to work the Pack at the top of the apex. Looks like facing off against a brace tripod there. Looks like Pumpkin Carver at the back. Attempted a recycle there. However, referees decided that it was not needed. Snipers gets through on the initial. Jules deciding to call that off. 4 more points being put up on the board for Twin State.
Remember how we started off this game here with a big push by Muddy River, and now we got a 30-point spread.
But again, the strategy of 4 and then slam the door has been working out. There's been a couple multi-scoring passes here, but again, one of the things that we all have to look for are these jammer penalties, which seem to have been racking up for both teams. Official review has been called.
For Twin State.
We've got about a little over 2 minutes remaining in this half. Twin State Derby's 90, Muddy River at 60. And again, once they finish their discussion, we will get the information to you as soon as we get it.
Yeah. Just looking back at the point spread of how everything is played out, where it came up to Jim, as soon as they hit 60 points, I believe it was Jim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're impressed, I can count. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It was jam number 16 there that they got up to about 60 Muddy River. We're going to be going into jam 21. They have not scored, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jams so far. Muddy River has not been able to put any points on the board. Twin State pushing that streak, a 30-point spread, the largest we've seen so far.
You know, one of the things that Twin State is actually very good at is when they start, once they understand they were getting riled up and not playing their game, they're trying to play somebody else's game. One of the stressors that both MBD and John Snowflake puts on the team is slowing everything down, remembering what they practiced, and just playing their game. And I know it sounds simple to do, and every team says that. Every team, every coach says that to their team. However, the ability to actually sit back, stop, and reset like that is very difficult to do.
Absolutely, especially when you got 1,000 things running in your mind here. And now we got Shipwrecker coming over. Going to be giving some information to you, Q, in a moment to see what went on with that official review. I'm going to give you some of the action going along. Starting off on that jammer line. Again, you got number 588 Pale Raptor going against number 8 Tootsie Valentino. We actually have a full house on the flat track, so no one in the box. Pale Raptor looking to go outside now, trying to find an opening around the inside, and does around side effects. Will take lead for Twin State. That is a 4th lead in a row, actually 5th, 6th lead in a row, I should say, for Twin State.
All right, so I do have a little bit of information on that official review. Twin State was looking for a cut track penalty to be issued to the black jammer. Referees confirmed, or conferred, I should say, and did not have enough evidence to issue a penalty. Twin State has lost that official review and will not retain.
And Tootsie Valentino able to stash that away and finally popping back in. But another 4 points, done, 8-point jam. Going to bring it 60-98 with a minute and 20 left here, Q.
Twin State Derby now knocking on the door of that century mark. Again, just a little over a minute and a half. Twin State Derby 98, Muddy River 60. Biohazard just coming up to the line. Number 50 against 50 again, so no matter what, number 50 will be lead jammer. That is Sniperus against Haz.
I don't know if I trust you for like helping me pick lottery numbers at this point.
If for some reason I run the office pool, though. Number 50, Sniperus working the front of the pack. However, it is number 50, Biohazard just through first. Lead jammer status once again to Twin State Derby.
And we have a track cut on Sniperus. Power jam to Twin State.
Lady Dementor now up, offering a little bit of offensive help. Big hit, however, a back block now being issued. Lady Dementor headed to the penalty box. Has through on that scoring pass, 4 points being issued.
Twin State losing another blocker to the box as well. See the pack locked in, but finding that opening on the inside. Jess is going to rack up another 4, push that lead a little bit further along. A 46-point lead so far for Twin State. They are on fire, and again, it's coming down to those jammer penalties against Muddy River. And all right, back into it, and now going to be working the initial pass is Sniperus.
And that was the initial pass. Biohazard just now is still deciding to call it off. We were in jam time only, so that is the end of the half, assuming there are no timeouts or there was no official reviews possible. So yes, we are moving into halftime. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Again, Twin State Derby 107, Muddy River at 60. I am Q.
And I'm the Cat.
See you in 15.
Here, Battle of Bunker Hill 2019, live from Auburn, Massachusetts at the Horgan Arena. I am the CAC.
I am Q. Sorry about not being back in the 15. We're cutting these down to 10-minute halves.
We got to
so
play
we're
catch
back
up.
a little bit early.
There's a lot of action. We got to play catch up. But we want to come back a little early and talk more about this game. There's a lot of action going on here, Q.
There really is. Going to start off with the penalties. Pretty even on total number of penalties. Twin State Derby sitting at 18. Lumber Smacks at 21. Nobody over 3 penalties. However, those with 3 penalties. Number 13, Pumpkin Carver. 206, Elizabeth Taylor. And number 588, Pale Raptor. She is a jammer for Twin State Derby. And on the Lumber Smack side, number 316, Rosie the Riv Hitter with 3. Number 45, Burn. Number 7, Shamrocker. And number 99, Side Effects. Again, 3 penalties isn't anything necessarily to worry about. However, it's something to watch considering 2 of those are jammers.
Yeah, and the story of it actually comes down to Jam 17 is where it all came down to. Now, Muddy River started off strong, very strong. Twin State didn't score anything until about Jam 4, but they held the lead, Muddy River, up until Jam 17, and that's where everything broke apart. We had 4 jammer penalties, 2 each on each side, and in that fray became the lead switched to Twin State with going up 7 points over. And then for the next 6 jams, Muddy River got 0 points, went scoreless 6, and then picked up 2 more jammer penalties. So again, the story comes down to Jam 17, where the tide turned to Twin State, but then the jammer penalties is definitely the knife that is stabbing at the heart of Muddy River. And you got to hope that during halftime here, they've regrouped and recomposed themselves, coming clear-headed into this.
Yep.
That's the only way you're going to start to try to come back with a 47-point deficit.
Well, see, and that's exactly the thing, is even though there is that 47-point deficit, again, Muddy River had control of that first half for the very vast majority. Again, until jam number 17, in which case things kind of started going into Twin State's favor, and they were really able to start propelling their own score up. It looks like we're going to start the second half. Again, a 50 versus 50 jam, as Haz coming back up to the line for Twin State Derby, facing off against number 50, Sniperus.
And real quick, actually, one of our broadcast announcers here, Johnny Ware, just showed me. She just left for a little bit, went and got a picture with Billy Zane.
Nice.
Yeah, and it looks like it's so funny because he looks like he's going out on a safari because he's on a khaki top and bottom. He's got a scarf around his neck. I'm surprised you didn't abscond away with him.
Right?
I mean, it's Billy freaking Zane. I would.
Bring him here.
I know.
Introduce Billy Zane to roller derby.
Well, it's like, why didn't you bring Billy Zane to Derby?
So Has starting way back from the pivot line, or jammer line, starting to get a little bit of momentum as the 5 seconds is called. And we are back to the action. Has taking that outside lane, able to pick up lead jammer status on the first jam of the second half for Twin State Derby Vixens. Snipers, however, is through the pack as well on the initial pass. Has gets pushed to the outside and recycled back by number 13, Edith Paff. Has decided to call that off. Looks like a 0-0 jam as both fists are in the air.
Put your fist right in the air.
Number 588, Pale Raptor up in the line for the Vixens, facing off against number 8. That is Tootsie Valentine.
They'll be starting this off. Pack advantage going to Twin State as Pivot is in the box. A tailed Destroyer.
Pack starting up by the pivot line, then creeping back. Pale Raptor finds an inside lane, tiptoes, and picks up lead jammer status. Tootsie is not far behind, probably about a quarter of a track and picking up speed. Raptor re-engages the pack at turn number 2. Spinning, calls it off. 2 points being put up on the board for Twin State Derby, holding Muddy River to 0. On that jam, we're going to see Force of Havoc up on the line again for Twin State Derby, facing off against number 316, Rovi the Riv Hitter.
Rose having a tough game, but keeping her head back into it. And I said, all right, picking up 3 penalties right there, starting at 17 and on. But now resetting herself. Looking to find that opening on the inside part of the pack. Twin State Tripod doing a fantastic job rotating around. But Rosie pushing up to the front and Force. So you have it held down. Rosa River actually able to break the lead streak. They had about 9 straight lead jams for Twin State. Rosie splitting that up, coming into the pack that still is yet to get past the pivot line, Q.
Muddy River is not only holding Havoc back behind the pivot line, but she has had offensive help about the entire jam so far from at least one of the Twin State Derby blockers. That was Yeti Vendetti in there, just unable to break her through. Finally, Havoc able to break through after a star stash, but that jam is called off before she can get any points. Looks like 2 more points being assessed for Muddy River. That is 6-0 in favor of Muddy River on that jam.
Yep. And in the meantime, we saw a Hail Destroyer pivot for Muddy River going back to the box. Now up on the line, we got Snipers for Muddy River, and we got Blazes coming up for Twin State. Pack going a little old school for the pivot line. Now slowly move back to the center of the engagement zone.
Blazers tries the inside first, however, that lane is closed. Both jammers now working the middle of the pack. Oh, and Snipers jumps to the inside. Yes, successful little apex jump there to pick up lead jammer status for Muddy River.
They got to switch up already. 2 blockers for Twin State now heading to the box. That's going to give a pack advantage as Hail Destroyer has just been released. Blazes working the initial pass. And right around turn number 3, Snipers picks up 4 points. And they have to just keep going with it. Pack is moving incredibly fast and now putting the stop on that.
And I got to give a shout out to Side Effects on that last scoring pass. Very successful in opening up that inside lane for the Snipers. On the way through, was able to just push 2 TSD blockers towards the outside. Biohazard just back up in line for Twin State Derby, facing off against number 8, Tootsie.
And a timeout call by Muddy River. It's because
good reason to call a timeout there.
Tootsie Valentine was out there ready to jam, but without a star. Yeah, it's kind of important when you need to earn points for your team.
Yes. Yes. Little important.
Tootsie's loud. So hard. Just like, yeah, I goofed. He's just so excited to get back out there because already they've broken that streak, started putting points back up on the board. They've got 2 leads, 2 jams where they put points, and 2 they've gone scoreless with Twin State.
And because of the depleted pack, it looks like the Twin State Derby is going to try a different strategy here. Hershey Bad starting in front of the pack with Yeti Vendetti taking the back of the pack. Muddy River, however, with a full contingent of blockers out there.
And we're about to end this timeout, and here we go. We're going to get to the action here. Tootsie lining up right behind Biohard Jess. Trying to keep it in alignment, but a little bit of a bump there from Tootsie. Gets up to the front by immediately engulfed, but will be able to actually take the lead as pivot for Twin State is going to the box. That's 3 in the box for them.
And lead jammer status is going to Tootsie Valentino, who has re-engaged the pack at turn number 2. Quickly jukes to the outside. Scoring trip, 4 points being put up on the board for Muddy River. Penalty box now is all but cleared except for Hershey Bad, who just got that penalty like you said. Tootsie threw on that scoring pass, 4 more points being put up for Muddy River. Biohazard just still trying to work in the middle of the pack, has just taken the star off and passed it to Hershey Bad.
Hershey Bad, though, locked in that tripod, being anchored there by Knocker Walker, and a forearm call, and that is actually going to go in. I believe that was Hail Destroyer. Oh, both Hail Nope, there was confusion out there. Destroyer was being told to go to the box, but no, it was actually Knocker Walker with that forearm. And with that, 4 points going to be picked up by Twin State. Hershey Bad going to lock that in.
High block there at the last second being called on Reading Painbow. So now Muddy River will start the next jam with a slightly depreciated pack. 4-2 pack advantage for the Vixens. Twin State Derby at 113. Muddy River currently sitting at 82 with 24 minutes remaining in the game.
Oh, we're going to have a substitution on the line here. That is going to be Force of Havoc coming in to jam, but now we're going to have a quick official timeout. Very interesting. Yeah, they had pulled off Raptor to put in Havoc. And we have a little bit of a group hug here.
It'll be interesting to see if the strategy is based on whether or not Rosie I'm pretty sure Rosie's been lead jammer every time she's skated against Pale Raptor. So this might be in response to that.
Let's see how that pans out. But I think we've been missing one of the most vital MVPs of this game. And that is the shorts of John Snowflake and also my baby daddy. Those cat shorts have been catching my eye for the last couple of years. They've been wearing them. I still have yet to get them. I heard Tarjay has been telling them, but every time I go there, I cannot find them.
That's because I'm pretty sure they have bought every single pair of cat shorts in order to make sure they have them for every single bout for their entire career.
Those heels, how dare they? As a certified cat dad, I can tell you that's unfair to the rest of us.
They are very impressive, though.
And speaking of clothing, I want to shout out one more time one of the sponsor for this production, New England Roller Derby Report. We'd like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals. Size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of armband helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available at sociopath.ca for more details.
And again, Force of Havoc is up on the line for Twin State Derby, facing off against number 316, Rosie the Riv Hitter. Rosie working the back of the pack. Against a solid wall of white.
Of course, going on bounds, and it looks like Burns going to be going to the box.
Side effects with a big hit on Havoc. However, Havoc quickly back up picking up lead jammer status. Rosie right behind Havoc, however, not more than 10 feet as both. Oh! Big hit there to the inside, forcing Havoc to call it off.
Smart thing to do to call that one off.
And that was
Rosie lapped
Knocker
around.
Walker. Yes, very smart thing because, again, both jammers were about neck and neck. Snipers now coming back up in the line for Muddy River, facing off against Pale Raptor.
And actually going to put 2 blockers in the box for Muddy River. And out there, Raptor.
Taking advantage of the depleted pack to pick up lead jammer status for Twin State Derby. Sorry, notice the pause.
Yeah, Burn finally releasing him back. And the Night Witch flies in with an air raid and hits 4 points
Nice.
on the Muddy River.
Snipers now working against a solid 2-wall. Mursky
Whoa.
Business and Elizabeth Taylor there.
Raptor just kind of deflected off Burn. And now we got a little JVJ Snipe. Give him a little bump. Raptor's like, yeah, we're just going to wrap that up.
Quick little bump, call it off. 8 points being put up on the board for Twin State Derby. Muddy River 0 on that jam. Twin State Derby 125, Muddy River 82 with 22 minutes remaining in the game.
Burn being called out there by Moccasins. Lining up in the front of the pack is Twin State. We have a full house on the flat track. And up on the line, we got Tootsie Valentino along with Bertha Blue Blazes.
I will have to look up Tipsy Galore later on to see if there's any footage of that. I really want to see it. For the Blue Blazes is through the pack first, picks up lead jammer status for Twin State Derby.
Tootsie still stuck in the back of the pack. That's leaning into turn number 2. And we got a out of play call. Did not see who that was on just yet.
Tootsie has also broken through the pack. Bertha Blue Blazes has finished an initial scoring pass. 4 points up in the sky for the Vixens. She decides to call that off. No additional points being issued.
Muddy River now going into 3 scoreless jams for them. But now coming back up, you're looking at number 50, Biohazard Jess. Going to go skate to skate against Rosie Rivhitter of Muddy River.
If I can get Jen's attention to wave at the camera, I'll try to pass that message along.
They're usually busy and focused. They're very undistracted. They are ninjas. They are focused and sharp. But now we got a back block call on Biohazard Jess. Power jam now going to Muddy River.
This could be the momentum swing that Muddy River needs to really start knocking down that differential. Lead jammer status now going to Rosie the Riv Hitter on Muddy River. Muddy River now isolating Lady Dementor at the back of the pack, but a big hit by Mursky Business pushes Rosie to the outside.
I think out of play that is going to go on a member of. Oh, that was going to go on a member of Muddy River. There was actually a couple more. Let's see, I think it was a forum call on. Can't see the number on that one, but definitely a member of Twin State there.
I believe that is Mursky Business.
Yep. Rose is going to shut that down as Jess had re-engaged. Gone. The truck was about to re-engage the pack. Picking up only 3 points for Muddy River, but 3 they definitely need to get back into the game. As Snipers is going up on the jammer line against the one and only Force of Havoc.
And currently in the penalty box, one player or one blocker from each team. That is number 111 Knocker Walker and number 1984 Mursky Business, both very strong jammers. So both teams, I think, right now are impatiently waiting their release. Number 50 Snipers is out first, picking up lead jam status for Muddy River.
Byrne had the drawback on Havoc. Havoc finally getting out of the pack. Has a full lap to go. Pack now starting to spread thin. Snipe this through and gonna keep it going.
That gives the opportunity for Force of Havoc to find the line on the outside at the top of the apex, picking up 4 more points for Twin State Derby. So now a 4-4 jam.
And at just barely getting around, Felon gonna pick up a full 4. So that's gonna be an 8-4 jam.
In favor of Muddy River. We've got about 18 minutes left. We are moving into jam number 11 of the second half. Twin State Derby 133, Muddy River 93. Pale Raptor coming up to the line for the Vixens, going to be facing off Tootsie Valentino, number 8 for the Lumber Smacks.
Now we see a pivot for, looks like Twin State. I believe that's Hershey Bad, who went right to the box.
Pale Raptor continuing to work the front of the pack, gets knocked to the inside, recycled back to the pivot line by Knocker Walker. Knocker Walker has been all over the place on this game.
And even getting shout outs on our chat feed. You can join us here on Twitch TV and chat feed. And lead actually still gonna go, look like, yep, it's gonna go over to Pale Raptor.
Tootsie Valentino now out on the initial as well, picking up a little speed at the top of the apex.
I think Raptor just comes in and just like shoves around our own teammates and just like, get out of the way, but taking out the other members of Muddy River.
You're in my way. Excuse me.
Excuse me, pardon me.
Excuse me, pardon me, coming through.
Excuse me, pardon me.
I just hope it is that polite. I'm sure it is.
I'm very sure.
Biohazard just coming back to the line for Twin State Derby, facing off Rosie the Riv hitter, number 316 for the Lumber Smacks. Both jammers attempt to find that inside lane. Biohazardous, however, jumps to the middle, picks up lead jammer status for Twin State Derby.
And shout out to Raptor, your dogs are watching from the Sparrow of Doom. And going to the penalty box, Rosie Riveter.
Missed what that call was, but that will give a power jam to.
Yeah, it's a forearm call, yeah. And that's gonna be tight there for Rosie. That's gonna put her at 4 penalties. And now we're gonna have a power start for Twin State.
Has deciding to call that off in order to freeze the jammer there. We've got just over 15 minutes left in the game. Muddy River 93, Twin State Derby 141. Looks like number 717, Bertha Blue Blazes, coming up to the line for Twin State Derby.
Yeah. And out there is going to be Bertha Blue Blazes starting this power start.
Blazes with 1 blocker to beat at the front of the pack, able to do so, picks up lead jammer status.
Yep, that was Knocker Walker.
Rosie is now standing in the penalty box, now released. Will engage the pack at the top of the apex. Blazes now working the front of the pack at the turn number 2. Knocker Walker, big hit, holding Blazes there at the back straightaway.
And Rosie flies through the pack, now working the initial pass coming up to the scoring position. But Blazes. Yep. Blazes the center of the pack there. And seeing a back block call. And a back block, I believe, was being called on Blazes. We got a down skater. I believe, yep, we do right now. So we're going to take a quick break here. And yeah, I believe there was a back block call just before the whistle there on Blazes. So I believe we might have a power start for Muddy River.
It does look like we do have two two Twin State Derby players in that penalty box. And you are correct. Blazes is one of them. Risky Business is the other.
And just before that whistle did blow, Rosie did pick up a single point, bringing it to 94. 4 points awarded to Twin State on behalf of Blazes. And you get some information over here, but right now, man, we had a lot of great action, and you're going to see even more because right after this game, it's going to be Maine versus Providence. Two teams that Twin State just stomped hard yesterday. Like it wasn't like a blowout, but it was just a fight, like I've seen.
Yep.
And don't take anything away from Maine or Providence.
No, not at all.
They got woken up, and it was a back and forth battle. There was a lot of tie scores and scoreless jams we saw from both those teams in those games.
We have had some outstanding matches this game. If you have not been watching this weekend, if this was the first one you have watched, please go to Nerd Derby's channel on Twitch TV. Check out all the Battle of Bunker Hill activity that has been going on because these games have been so exciting. You do not want to have missed any of the action. Go back, check them out. Each and every game has just been nail-biting.
Unbelievable. And even if you look at the end and look some of the score spreads at the end, I go, don't let that tell you what the story of the game was. Please review this because there's a lot of amazing plays. And even some calls and official reviews that were very fascinating, going into in depth. Not like your traditional calls you would see, and a lot of them too looking for extra penalties or even like taking points off boards from other teams. But now we're gonna have snipers on this line here. Pack advantage still also. It's a Muddy River here, Q.
Yep. And at the end, during that injury timeout, a couple more points were issued to Twin State Derby, bringing their total up to 147. But again, Snipers is through the pack. Your lead jammer for the Lumber Smacks. Risky Business now out of the pack, or out of the penalty box, I mean. Snipers through. 4 points being put up on the board for Muddy River. Bertha Blue Blazes now has finished the time in the penalty box and has re-engaged at turn number 2 as well. Currently being held up by number 99, Side FX. Byrne also trying to get in on that. However, Blazes is now through, completed the initial pass.
And Snipers shouted a call. It will stop Blazes from picking up additional points. But now Muddy River finally hitting triple digits here, 100 to 147.
Force of Habit coming up to the line for Twin State. Going to be facing off against number 8, Tootsie Valentino. I think this is the first time we have seen these two skaters go head to head. Muddy River does have one blocker in the penalty box, so a slight pack advantage in favor of Twin State Derby. Tootsie working the front of the pack against that solid tripod. That gives enough time for Force of Habit to find that outside lane, pick up lead jammer status. Tootsie not far behind, maybe about a quarter of a track. Havoc engages the pack at turn number 1, however, is forced to call it off. 3 points being put up on the board for Twin State. Fist in the sky for Muddy River on that jam. We're now at 150 even to 100 even. That's awesome.
That's pretty odd.
It really is. I don't know the last time if I've ever seen an even score like that between jams. I like it. But I'm weird like that. I like round numbers. Pale Raptor up on the line for Twin State Derby, facing off against Rosie, the Riv hitter.
Oh my goodness, collision. Pile up on Route 93. Like the lead will go to Pale Raptor, but Rosie sweeping ahead as Raptor went down, crashed onto pivot for Muddy River. And that will be a scoreless jam.
Pale Raptor deciding to wait until the last possible second before calling that off, trying to clear the penalty box. However, Lady Dementor is still in there, so pack advantage is still going to Muddy River. Sniperess up on the line, facing off against Biohazard Jess.
Look how compressed that pack is right now.
Absolutely solid.
Throw a piece of coal in there. When they separate, you'll have a diamond by the end of it.
This game in and of itself has been a diamond. I
Absolutely.
love watching this game.
Bunch of diamonds in the rough there. Now,
Has been recycled all the way back behind the jammer line by Reading Painbow.
but does have that lead control over the jam. And twice into the infield goes Biohazard Jess. Again, direction of gameplay, that is going to go on Muddy River. Another direction of gameplay, that one's going to go on Twin State.
Sniper is able to break through on the initial pass. Biohazard Jess will call that off. That is a 0-0 jam. Again, Biohazard Jess was able to pick up that lead jammer status, however, got recycled right after.
2 scoreless jams in a row. Shows you just how level this playing field is. A lot of those points, well earned by both those teams, really comes down to that penalty conversation and the jammer more particularly jammer penalties.
Tootsie Valentino up on the line for Muddy River, facing off against 717 Bertha Blue Blazes. Tootsie taking the front of the pack, able to pick up lead jammer status for Muddy River. Bertha Blue Blazes not far behind, maybe about a quarter of a track.
Yeah, I believe Mersky Business, I saw it just pick up their multiplayer block. Pack now moving into turn 3, now picking up speed into turn 4. It's gonna be a chase. Tootsie Valentino eyeing from the inside to the center of the pack. Pack already almost a full lap around before getting through the pack. They are moving at incredible speed, not too far behind. Blazes clears the pack too. We are 4 and 4Q. Look at the race. Now the pack holding at turn number 4 here.
Finally slowing down and trying to reform some kind of defense instead of just outrunning the opposing jammer.
Both the jammers almost completely through the pack. Yep, and we're getting a track cut call. I think I see track cut. That is going to go on Tootsie Valentino, who's signaling an over to her bench. They might take it out, but we'll see if that ever does pan out. Meanwhile, Blazes is out there. We got about 46 seconds remaining on the jam clock.
Refs might hate fast packs. I love fast packs. I think they are absolutely exciting. But I can understand why refs would dislike fast packs.
Or as one of our EMTs, Liz, put a post on the Battle of Bunker Hill Facebook. EMTs hate extended timeouts, especially at the end of a tournament.
I could understand that.
Oh, yeah, because they're here all day. Our EMT's been fantastic, and they are here all day long.
Blazes continues to fight the pack at that back straightaway. Tootsie has also completed the time in the penalty box and is gauged. Currently at the front of the pack, but getting pushed around and just kind of pinballed right there. Final points being assessed. Looks like 3 more points being assessed for Muddy River. 4 points going up on the board for Twin State. Timeout being called by, looks like Muddy River.
Yep.
So after that jam, looks like Twin State was able to put up 16 points. Muddy River putting up 7 of their own. Twin State Derby 166. Muddy River 107 with a little over 7 minutes remaining in the game. Once we come back, Force of Havoc will be up for Twin State. Waiting to see who Muddy River decides to put up.
I think it's going to be Snipers, but...
there we go. There she is. She was hiding behind some of the
Rosie.
blockers. Rosie is up there as the jammer.
Okay, OPRs hate fast packs. All right, we'll all agree unanimously on that.
I think we can all agree that everybody has different opinions and they all matter.
Yes. But the great thing about having a fast pack for the OPRs is they can save money on a gym membership because they'll definitely get their cardio workout.
Funny, I say that every time I start shoveling in the winter. So again, Force of Havoc up for the Vixens. Rosie, the Riv hitter, up for Muddy River. Just impatiently waiting on that whistle. There we go. Back to the action now. Rosie working the front of the pack. Havoc trying to work the back, getting a little bit of offensive help by Pumpkin Carver. However, gets knocked to the outside and recycled back. Rosie not having any luck either, continuing to struggle at the front of the pack. Finally breaks through, however, picks up lead jammer status for Muddy River.
That's 2 for 2, but we're getting a track cut being thrown up in the air.
Looks like it was on the
confusion.
pivot.
Yeah, they're giving it. They're putting it on Rosie. Rosie going to the box. I believe that's the 5th time now. 4 points picked up by Havoc.
And this will go the full 2 minutes. Force of Havoc now with 1 blocker to beat. That is Knocker Walker, able to skate past. 4 additional points being put up on the board for the Vixens.
And we're getting another cut track, but that's going to be on a blocker for Muddy River. Havoc knocked out of bounds into the straightaway. We'll do a return. Very slow approach coming in, saving up the energy. Havoc now stacks up 4 more points for Twin State.
Force of Havoc now racking up 12 points. Looking for 16 on this pass scoring trip. Muddy River, however, has just clamped down with that wall. Number 100, Hail Destroyer, now the last blocker to beat. A little bit of help there by Knocker Walker right at the end.
Now, it didn't look like Havoc trying to call it out, but not realizing she's not lead jam. We are still got a whole couple more seconds to go only. And that's going to wrap that up now.
So a full 2-minute jam there. Final points being put up on the board. Looks like an official review is being called off or called up. Looks like final points now being put up for that jam. So unless something changes with this official review, that was a 15-point jam by Force of Havoc. Brings their total up to 181 points. Muddy River at 107 with just over 5 minutes remaining in this game.
Yeah, what a spread it has become here. Now, as we're going into this game, thinking about Twin State, all at the watch party there, going, oh my God, we're going 2-0 so far. What do you think the environment is in that bar right now?
If the Twin State Derby cheering section has any say in it whatsoever, if they've been cheering, I can only assume that Timeout Grill right now is going insane. This has been a wonderful tournament. Twin State came into this, again, the underdogs. It's difficult to say this is necessarily a Cinderella story because Twin State has been jumping up the ranks, doing very well anyways. But I think this really puts an emphasis that they belong here with everybody.
Absolutely.
You know, and I'm really looking forward to the next few seasons because these have been games that Providence and Maine have been 2 extremely strong teams. They are 2 extremely strong teams to come into this. Muddy River is doing very well. As you know, overall, I've just been so impressed with everything I've seen. I'm almost at a loss. Almost at a loss. I am at a loss for words right now because I'm so impressed with the skating ability that everybody has shown during this tournament.
See, I thought you were going to say it wasn't a Cinderella story because glass skates shouldn't be a thing in Derby, but no, I completely 100% agree.
Well, I want to call it a Cinderella story, but it's hard because they have been such a strong team. Oh, there we go. Okay, nope, I will call it a Cinderella story. If this is what I get for calling it a Cinderella story, my baby daddy and John Snowflake dancing on the track in cat shorts. That just made my tournament.
I was going to say, welcome to Bunker Hill, Battle of Bunker Hill, everybody. I am the Cat Bean, joined by Q, and we're watching Cat Dad dance off here. But no, I completely agree. Like all these teams here have shown just a phenomenal gameplay here. But Twin State definitely is a story to be told here.
It
by
is.
Everyone's going to be walking away saying, you need to rewatch these games. If you've missed them previously from yesterday, you definitely got to go to Nerd Derby here on Twitch TV and watch the previous games as they get uploaded. It's phenomenal storytelling between these two teams.
You know, and if another thing is going to glean out of this, hold on a second. We'll get right back to that official review information here.
Yes, and if you are down at the watch party, it doesn't matter if it's an adult beverage or not. Please give a toast to all of our officials this weekend, our referees, our NSOs, our awesome volunteers who've been working all weekend long, and also to our productions team here at Nerd Derby.
Okay, so an update on that official review. Muddy River was looking for a reversal on an insubordination call that was issued to their jammer. The referees talked about it and decided that the insubordination will stand. Muddy River lost that review, will not retain it.
And they have no more timeouts remaining. Twin State does have 2 in the pocket and 1 in the OR, and that out in front there, that was Pale Raptor stacking up, looks like 2, possibly 3. I'm waiting for Wifo to turn her hand there. Yeah, 3 more points, 184 to 107.
So what I was saying before Chip Perker came over with that information is one of the key takeaways, I think, for everybody watching this tournament. Don't base everything on the rankings.
Thank you.
Rankings mean nothing at times. Go into this and realize that every team you're going to be skating against is strong, or they wouldn't be there with you.
I think the best case scenario you can talk about was Crime City when they first came out. They rocketed up to Division I so incredibly quick. Within 3 years.
Sun State as well was another one that just kind of came out of nowhere. Don't look at the rankings and automatically assume that because there's a 25-point difference, you're going to rock their world, because you never know what's going to happen in the wonderful world of roller derby. We've got about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. Twin State Derby 185, Muddy River at 107, moving into jam number 22. Jules up on the line for the Vixens, facing off against number 50, Snipress.
Oh, what a hit. Jules rocketing out, finding that open and now pack. Still the pivot line starting to work their way into turnover one. Sniper is finally out as well. Working their splash. Jules finds that opening on the inside and tries to cut across right behind the tripod of Muddy River. Goes down, but quickly having to shut that off. Snipers is approaching. 3-point pick it up now, 180 to 107.
Force of Havoc number 819 back up on the line for the Vixens. Tootsie Valentino number 8 for the Lumber Smacks.
I got a quote on here, Motorious B.I.G. saying, Twin State showed up this weekend. And indeed they did.
To be perfectly honest, I think they might have surprised themselves. Force of Havoc working the back of the pack. Tootsie Valentino working the front of the pack. Both teams just offering a solid tripod defense, forcing these jammers to just push with all their might. Vixens pivot number 533, Hershey Bad, being called on a penalty. Looks like multi-block was issued.
Man, we got an illegal contact call. That is going to go on number 22 there, Pirate Attack. We are bleeding boxers to the boxers. The blockers to the box.
That seems to be the place to be right now, as there are a ton of white jerseys sitting down, taking a breather, thinking about what they did wrong. Force of Havoc, meanwhile, continues to break through. 4 more points being put up on the board for Twin State.
Only 1 blocker out there for Twin, 2 for Muddy River.
There's a party in the penalty box right now, and both jammers deciding to eat it up, take it to their advantage, and continue to put points on the board. Tootsie there, third scoring pass, 12 points being put up on the board for Muddy River. Tootsie deciding to run this jam long, putting up as many points as possible. Now deciding to call it off before Force of Havoc re-engages again. Muddy River coming out of that 12-8 in favor. Muddy River 119, Twin State Derby 196. We're at 30 seconds remaining in the game, moving into jam number 24. Snipers up on the line for the Lumber Smacks, facing off against Biohazard Chiss.
These two skaters not only closed out the first half, opened up the second half. There's potential of them actually closing out the final game here, but we do have an official timeout. We got to do quick shout-outs because coming up next is going to be the final of the WFTDA games here at Battle of Bunker Hill. It's going to be Game 10, Maine versus Providence, in which I know we're going to have Banshee and Johnny Weird on there. I'm going to take a – I am so exhausted by all these amazing games. I'm going to call it quits on the broadcast for the remainder of the day and jump on house there. But also we got to give some shout-outs to the people here at Battle of Bunker Hill. Thank you, Mass Maelstrom, for keeping this tournament going. And thank you to everyone here at the Horgan Arena for hosting it here in Obermass. And thank you to Nerd Derby here on Twitch TV, who are part of our production team. That is Chad and Lady Lana, the two most beautiful individuals in this entire building. They're going to stay here for 3 more games. And here we go, Q.
Biohazard just taking that outside lane, picks up, oh no, but a forearm penalty being issued. That will give Muddy River Lumber Smacks power jam opportunity as Snipers cuts through, shoots like a gun out of the pack, picks up lead jammer status.
We're now down to just that jam time here, Q. Now it's coming down to that point spread that Muddy River's eyeballing here, stacking as much as they can and narrowing it down. Snipers is out there shooting at her targets, already picking up 4.
Muddy River doing a good job of isolating Ivory Tower at the back of the pack. Snipers through, one more scoring pass, 4 more points being put up on the board. Biohazard just has completed the time in the penalty box, completed that initial pass now. Snipers through for another 4 more points, deciding to run this long.
And Twin State has now hit 200 points. We're going to have Tosillo felling off to the box, being joined by 484 McChaos.
It'd be interesting after this game to see just how many penalties racked up in the second half.
Oh my goodness. Quite a bit. They have been a true definition to how this game's played out. Snipers being told, just keep on going. 19 seconds remaining.
Snipers now with 20 points on this jam.
I think it might be the biggest.
Try to get one more pass in. 4 more points, so that is a 24-point jam right now. 2-1. Snipers will end with a 24-point jam.
Yep, the highest scoring jam of the game. Whistle blew, but there's a little bit of silence going on here. Just
looked like we had a skater that was a little slow to get up. However, is up now, skating on their own power. 3 more points being issued to Twin State Derby. We will dot our T's and cross our I's here in just a second, get you the final score. But right now, the unofficial score, Twin State Derby 203, Muddy River 143. What a game.
What a weekend with Twin State, all 3 games. Are you going to be okay?
Absolutely incredible. I don't know if I'm going to be okay because we still have more games coming up, and I know they're just going to be as exciting, if not more exciting than what we just watched.
Well, now they're targeting us.
Yeah.
Now everybody wants to beat them.
If everybody wants to beat Twin State Derby now, something tells me Twin State Derby wants to be part of that challenge.
Just bring it now. Round of applause for all of our teams at WFT, especially Twin State and Muddy River coming out. And then coming up next, as I said, the final of our WFTD series. That is going to be Maine versus Providence. After that, Toronto Maelstrom and Mohawk Valley Montreal. Let's see, and the watch party goes wild, according to done a lot of damage.
And again, a massive thank you to Timeout Grill for hosting that watch party. It's awesome to do it in a public place. Hopefully we got a couple more recruits out of that. Derby is the lifestyle. Thank you for joining us. Again, don't go anywhere. Catch more roller derby action at Battle of the Bunker Hill 2019 on Twitch TV. I am Q.
And I'm the Pharaoh of Fantabulous the Cack.
And we'll see you later.